Okay, so you can see the draft of this video on Patreon if this video doesn't make sense, but I just wanted to quickly talk about material fetishism and how if you don't understand what the ideal is, you won't be able to overcome capitalism, basically, because material fetishism was a Marxist concept that actually explains what the ideal is. And Marx explained the ideal very, very simply. He said the ideal is the material reality planted or implanted into the person's head. Unfortunately, this very simple explanation, which I think is pretty clear, caused a lot of confusion and a lot of debates in the Marxist circles up until the dissolution of the USSR. So Ilyenkov took it upon himself to explain this conceptualization in great detail in his work, The Dialectics of the Ideal. And it is necessary to understand, to distinguish between the ideal and the material, but understanding that these two are a process. In this material reality, nothing is apart from something else. It has to have its opposite. So the material and the ideal are a dialectical pair. When we observe the world around us, we do not perceive the actual material reality. We perceive it through that filter of the ideal that is built into us as we are socialized into being humans. So we cannot get rid of this programming. We cannot get rid of this filter. It is just not possible. It is like, try and forget your own language right now. Try and forget everything that you've ever been taught. You're not going to be able to. You can change some of the little things here and there. Slowly over time, you may change some bigger chunks of your perception. But ultimately, if you live in a society, if you live amongst the people, if you are integrated into the production chain, which is impossible, even if you live alone in the woods, you're still included, integrated in this chain. You are going to have the ideal reflect onto everything. And the ideal is the reflection of the material. So material fetishism helps us understand that it is not the actual value, it is the symbol of the value that we observe. The material body of a lot of the valuable objects, or any commodity actually, we do not observe the actual commodity. We observe it through the lens of value. And this is best understood, I believe, by a very simple example from all kinds of cartoons. Whenever a character sees, a bad, greedy character sees something, maybe a piece of natural resources, a forest, for example, he doesn't see the forest itself. He's got these little symbols of money signs in his eyes. His eyes actually change shape to represent this ideal that he is reflecting. He doesn't see just the woods or the forest. He sees what he can gain from it. And this is true for every single one of us, no matter how generous we are, no matter how good morally we are, no matter how we are committed to the liberation of humankind. We're all tinted by this perception of reality through this common universal ideal. And we don't need to preoccupy ourselves with trying to get rid of it. What we do need to do is understand the process of its formation, the process of its becoming, which I have been explaining for the past month or so. And if you want a more in-depth explanation of material fetishism, you can go on to my Patreon. And if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have a great day today. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Do take care of yourself and your community first. Solidarity with all working people of the world. Subscribe to me on all the other social media accounts, even though I don't do much there, and I'll talk to you sometime later.